I'll call the meeting of the Sheriff County Planning and Zoning Committee to order. The meeting will begin with a public hearing. Anyone other than the applicant or their representative wishing to speak must register and submit registration slip to myself or to the secretary. Following the hearing, we will conduct a meeting at which time we will vote on the application. You may stay and hear how the applications are decided, or you may leave. The applicant and the town board will be contacted about tonight's decision. Any other person wishing to receive a copy of any decision can sign a sheet in the front of the room. For those wishing immediate knowledge of the outcome of these proceedings, may call the county zoning office tomorrow morning. Procedure we will follow for the hearing of each application is, after the application is read, the applicant or their agent or representative will have a maximum of 10 minutes to present their application, followed by any questions or comments from the committee. Then all correspondence will be read. Others will speak in favor, have a maximum of 5 minutes to speak. Anyone objecting will then have a maximum of 5 minutes to speak. They will then ask for any staff comments. Finally, the applicant will be allowed a maximum of 5 minutes for a rebuttal if they wish. Anyone wishing to speak should use the microphone, state their name, and direct their comments to the committee. If you are testifying as a nearby landowner, please tell us where your property is located. Tonight's hearing will be videotaped, and the tapes will become part of the record. Comments that are based on rumors, hearsay, or secondhand information, as well as racial and other prejudicial remarks, will be ruled out of order. The committee has looked at all the properties, and the record will reflect these observations. Any person affected by an administrative decision of this committee has 10 days from filing of tonight's decision to make an appeal. Such appeals are heard by the Board of Adjustments. Information and applications are available from the zoning office. The county assumes no liability and makes no warranty as to the legality of the construction commenced prior to the expiration of this 10-day period. I will now introduce the committee. On the end is Larry Crawford and Mike Likeness, Bob Wadle. I'm Joe Piaski. I'm the vice chair, and to my right is Mark Schumacher. So our first application we have would be for the Owens conditional use. Thomas and Christine Owens of Milwaukee have made an application for conditional use in accordance with sections 58-236, parent 18, and 58-454, parent 31 of the Waushara County Zoning Code to store a 2000 model 31-foot Westfield Wilderness travel trailer in the AG General Agricultural Zone. The location is a 40-acre parcel of land, being the southwest one quarter of the northwest one quarter of section 29, town 18, town of Coloma, W14010 Cypress Ave. Is the applicant here? The applicant? Come up to the microphone. Can you tell us a little bit about your application? Say your name. Can you tell us about? We have some committee questions for you. They'll ask you.
Mr. Owens, is the trailer licensed and roadworthy?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And has there been a recent survey of the property?
When I bought it, I had it surveyed.
And when did you buy it? Ballpark.
3 years ago.
Okay.
I would say.
And you're sure of the lot lines then?
Yes.
Okay.
One of the guys right across the street did the survey.
And you're, your site plan says that you'll be about 60 yards from the nearest lot line and about 100 yards off of the road.
perfectly 100 yards. I didn't go by the 60 feet because I didn't get back up because I've been in the hospital for,
Yeah.
it's like, off the 14 acres, it'll be, 30 feet off, 14 acres. You have your,
And you mentioned there's no running water, and you're using a portable chemical toilet. Okay. Are you any other buildings planned for the?
eventually, everything works out.
Are there other trailers in the area there?
Across the street, somebody's building a house, which is the subdivision across the street. It's been there for 3 years and it's never been covered up, and that's 2.9 acres.
So you'll be using the existing driveway, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. And you do not have a uniform property address number now, is that correct?
there's a number on that whole 94 acres.
But it's way on the other end of the 40, yeah. The purpose of the emergency numbering system in the county is to be able to respond to an accident or something at that site. And although you have a property address on the other end of the property where you've got those older buildings, it would be a good idea to have another property address at this trailer location so that if there's ever something that happens there, the first responders and EMTs can go to that site, okay?
Since it's the same property, why is it?
Because they're gonna be a quarter mile away from where the problem is, okay? Because it's on the other end of the 40, okay?
Can I bring up something to you on that?
Well, sure, go ahead.
You're talking about fire numbers, I mean, that's, you can tell right where it is, for one thing, if you go by the fire number, okay? Now, I own 6 acres in the subdivision, and you guys have no fire numbers there at all, and that's a subdivision, that should have all fire numbers.
That's because there's no improvement. That's because there's no improvements, okay? This system is designed to protect you, okay? And all we're saying is that in order to provide that protection for your own benefit, would be in your best interest to have a fire number at the site where the trailer is, okay?
Okay, if I have a fire number, where do I get that then?
We'll take care of that for you. Yeah, it's pretty simple, but it's in your best interest to do that, sure.
That's all the questions I have.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? We actually went to the fire number, and then we couldn't find it, so we started backtracking and figured out that it was on the other end. Right, right. Once we took a little time, we figured it out. Okay, that's all. You can sit down.
Thank you.
And any correspondence?
We have a letter in favor from the town of Coloma that was received July 8th. And it says, the town of Coloma has no objections to Thomas and Christine Owens' conditional use to store a 2000 model 31-foot Westfield Wilderness travel trailer in the AG zone, location 40-acre parcel, section 29, town of Coloma. And that's signed Mark Kirschner, chairman, town of Coloma, and that's all the correspondence we have on the application.
Anyone in favor, objecting?
No one registered in favor or in opposition?
No information. Staff comments.
For the record, the committee's been furnished with a copy of the site plan for this application and all the other pertinent data. When the committee visited the property, they noted, we talked about the fire number. The unit does meet the setbacks from the roads and the lot lines. Visibility is good at the driveway location. If the application would be approved tonight, the conditions that are in our zoning code says that the travel trailer has to be kept licensed and roadworthy. There can't be any additions, attachments, or foundations on the unit. It has to be served by adequate sanitary facilities, and in a waterless situation, a portable chemical toilet like the applicant is proposing to use is an acceptable form of waste disposal. If an approval would be granted tonight, We do an annual inspection just to make sure that those conditions are being followed. And we have had a number of applications like this in the past. And normally, if they're located in the proper manner and have adequate sanitary facilities, they don't pose any sort of concern to the community. So I wouldn't have anything further to add.
Applicant, anything you want to say yet? A chance to rebuttal or anything?
Is it that hard of a problem to get a camper put on my own property? I mean, I'm not trying to cause any problem here, I just got a question, why is it so hard to get a camper put on my own property? I mean,
Well,
I'm going by your rules.
I guess it's always, you know, well, I
I'm paying the taxes on my property, which is $4,000. And now I'm putting $300 into this. I have to sit in front of you guys to explain for a camper.
well, about 20 years ago, you wouldn't even be here because it was prohibited in the entire county, okay? But we've understood over the years that if they're properly placed and they have adequate sanitary facilities and you have enough land such as yourself, that if we consider them on a case-by-case basis, these trailers can be placed and don't pose a problem in the community. But we still have some townships that just do not want these trailers, and that's why we have to go through the conditional use process. But if you check around with other counties, okay, you're going to find that there's counties that don't even allow this practice. So quite honestly, Waushara County is pretty permissive when it comes to placement of travel trailers. And if we didn't have any regulations, okay, Waushara County would look like a 400,000 acre campground. And that would not be in the best interest either, okay? So what we've done is we've set up a process where if you have enough acres and you can meet the setbacks, we'll consider them through a conditional use process on a case-by-case basis, okay? And that's why you're here tonight, okay? Yep.
Okay, this is end our portion of the meeting. We'll move to the next room behind us to the right down here, and we'll do our decisions there, and the Board of Adjustments will take over and do theirs.
Pull in, Jim. You guys coming through.
Thin guy or a thick guy?
You make the call, Jim. I'm not gonna do that.
Rest of the board set? Okay. Call this meeting of the Waushara County Board of Adjustments to order. This meeting will be conducted in the same manner as applications heard by the zoning committee. Anyone other than the applicant or representative wishing to speak at the hearing must have registered. Anyone who has not should do so immediately and submit the registration slip to myself or the secretary. The board has looked at all the properties and the record will reflect these observations. Following the public hearing, the board will conduct its monthly meeting, at which time we will vote on the applications. You may stay and hear how the applications are decided, or you may leave. Any person affected by an administrative decision of this board has 30 days from the filing of tonight's decision to file an appeal. Such appeals are heard by the circuit court. Information is available from the county zoning office. The county assumes no liability and makes no warranty as the legality of any construction commenced prior to the expiration of this 30-day period. Now I'll introduce the rest of the board. To my left are Fred Gellerup, Larry Tim, Jim Warwick, George Wilson. My name is Roger Wagner. First variance tonight the Poisippi Volunteer Fire Department, Poisippi, Wisconsin, made an application for variance in accordance with section 58-828, paragraph B, and 58-826, paragraph B and E of the Waushara County zoning code to construct a 50 by 90 fire station coming to within 68 feet of the center line of County Road H, 75-foot setback required within the required visual clearance of Center Street and County Road H, and to allow a second driveway on County H coming to within 95 feet of the intersection. All driveways required to be located on a lesser classified road and 300 feet from the intersection in the CG zone, community commercial, within the shoreline area. Location, the west one half of lots 3 and lots 4, 5, 6, and 7 of block 22 of the village of Tustin. Plat being part of the south one half of the northeast one quarter, section 36, town of Bloomfield, Center Street and County Road H. You gentlemen would come forward, please, Bruce and Tom. Just state your name for the record, and if you've got nothing further to add, we've got some general questions to ask you. Okay. Anything further to add, or?
Well, as you know, we're just applying for variance for the sites. You mentioned that it was coming off of County Road H. It was, to our understanding, it was Main Street, actually. So there is a setback difference there.
Mhm. Okay. There was a survey done in there in 1990, is that correct? When it was surveyed out in 90? Is that when that was the actual exchange of land or something? That's what we've got in our records, that there was a survey done in 90.
Yeah. And then there was some land swapping between the fire department and the township that took place after that, right?
Okay.
Right, right.
Okay. But I think the original survey went back to 90 according to our records that we've got. You're sure the road right-of-ways and the property line locations? Okay. And it's gonna be on a concrete slab, right? About 15 to 18 inches above grade, the way it looked?
Yeah, from Main Street, we're 6 inches actually above the Center Street in front of the old station. That's the grade we were using. That's
Okay.
what the contractor told us to water flood.
Okay. About what is the finished height gonna be? Sure. We got a 35-foot maximum, so, yeah. And have you thought about handling the stormwater runoff and where that's gonna go? Okay. Any other buildings planned or any additions in the future? All other setbacks will be met, correct? Okay.
We actually went back 5 feet further than the 63 feet on the south. Because we went to 65 feet. Really didn't leave us much room to park the trucks out front, so we moved back another 5 feet just for washing trucks.
Sure.
Stuff out on that.
And you're connected to municipal sewer there? Most of the parking's gonna be on the west side of the building, then, is that correct?
There will be parking from County Road H, all the whole road, all the way up to our north driveway there.
So you're gonna have a lot more parking than you had before?
And there'll be a lot more room for them to pull in further on. There used to be trees, a couple
Sure.
trees along there. And the car stuff well out on the road most of the time there. Has more tavern parking than that.
So basically, you're gonna have two driveways, one to the south off Main Street and one to the west off Center Street.
The one going south, that's gonna be the full width of the building. The one going out north, that's just 14-foot driveway, goes out the north door, hooks out on the Center Street.
And have you thought about warning signs on the county highway there for fire trucks entering and stuff, that the, I think the county highway would like that probably if you had a sign up saying, you got them in Poisippi, haven't you, there on 40? Yeah. You guys thought about putting a fire number up in case it, so you can find it if it
Oh, is that right? Oh, okay. Is that on Main or Center Street? Main, okay. Oh, okay.
in case there's a fire, it'd be nice if they knew where it was, wouldn't it?
W218, huh? Okay.
Any other committee questions? Chair. Thanks, Bruce. Any correspondence?
We have a couple. We have a letter. We have a phone call from the chairman of the town of Bloomfield in favor. Mark Stibbs, the chairman, called on July 7th, and he said the town board of Bloomfield met the night before and they voted unanimously to support the variance request of the Poisippi Fire Department. And then we also have a letter from the Washura County Highway Commission that was received July 6th, and it's from Thomas Dahlke, Washura County Highway Commissioner, and it states, Patrol Superintendent Mike Kelly and I reviewed the area in reference to the variance requested by the Poisippi Volunteer Fire Department in Tustin. After the review and a phone conversation, we have determined that there are no zoning issues connected with County Highway H. We do have a concern that the water from the property and the roof of the new building may impact County Highway H. Concern involves water runoff that may turn to ice during colder temperatures. As of now, we have been told the water will be directed to a drain near the building. Additionally, we would like the Planning and Zoning Committee to consider requiring signs or flashing lights on County Highway H to warn drivers that trucks will be entering the highway. All signing should be approved by this department prior to installation. Feel free to call me with any questions and or concerns you may have. Tom Dahlke, Washura County Highway Commissioner. And that's all the correspondence we have.
No one registered to speak in favor or opposition. Staff comments?
For the record, the board's been furnished with a copy of the site plan and the other pertinent data for this application. Regarding the variance tonight, the applicant has to prove tonight that the zoning code is unnecessarily burdensome, there's unique physical features or property limitations, and that an approval will not harm the public or the neighbors. When the board visited the property, they noted that visibility is good at both driveway locations. The speed limit is 35 miles an hour on the county road. The board also noted there are many other structures in this urban setting that do not meet required road or vision setbacks. Initially, when we started processing the application, when you look at the maps, it was really hard to tell whether the property on the south fronted on the town road, Main Street, or whether it was the county road. But the highway commissioner confirmed too, it's really not fronting on the county road. It's on the town road on Main Street. So I know the fire department's been, contemplating this project for a long time, and initially the contractor had a little different layout, but Bruce called and said, he had some better ideas, I think, of where it was going to go, and because the north half of that parcel is zoned residential, and it would have required a zone change or a conditional use besides